This is IGN. Chiwetel Ejiofor discovers the liminal horror of a mysterious and terrifying hidden world. This is your IGN review of Backrooms by Lex Briscuso. It's one thing to go from the small to the big screen, but it's a whole other thing to do it with a built-in fan base ready to devour whatever comes next. The reputation of the Backrooms precedes it, and with good reason. But now the question is, can the A24-backed feature film live up to the promise of Kane Parsons' original YouTube series? Thankfully, I'm here to tell you that the filmmaker has, without a doubt, got the stuff. Backrooms is a truly terrifying cinematic rabbit hole that takes its audience down a twisted and dread-filled path, as cerebral in its horror as it is aesthetically pleasing in its design. The movie focuses on Chiwetel Ejiofor's Clark, who finds an entrance to the Backrooms via what fans will know as a null zone in a wall in the basement of his furniture store. The scene is set immediately. This place is dangerous, terrifying, and we shouldn't want to explore it. Parsons' debut captures that unsettling feeling from the very start, as opposed to maybe letting the audience marvel at the, marvel of the setting as an introduction to the concept. The sinister tone carries on throughout the film, with the heightened presence of the Backrooms themselves, much like any predator feeling as though the walls are breathing as they stake out and track their prey. Interestingly enough, though, that ominous and threatening tone isn't only bolstered by the film's evil central locale. Ejiofor's Clark is a troubled and bitter man consumed by resentment, and his hatred infects the film just as much as the sickly yellow moldy walls do. This is the first time you don't care about a central character stuck in Parsons' Backrooms. There have been several there prior to the events of the film, and it actually works to the movie's advantage. It's an interesting way for Parsons to revisit the world by giving us an irredeemable character's perspective of what it means to exist inside it. Most viewers probably aren't going to like that, and some will find an off-ramp from the entire thing because of it. But those of us who have spent time with this world will recognize the choice for what it is, a reflection of the reality that the complex, as it's known in the YouTube series, doesn't discriminate. That truth, the notion that truly anyone is subject to the worst the Backrooms have to offer, is a terrifying prospect in and of itself. The production design of this film, in a word, rocks. The complex itself is stunning, and feels even more unsettling as a life-size set, which hardly seems possible when Parsons is so good at building it virtually in Blender. That said, the Blender sequences, and there are several in the film for fans hoping that style would make its way to the big screen, do so much to anchor the movie's horror foundation in a threat that feels both so far away yet so close to our reality. They smartly reinforce the film's 90s timeline with a gritty shot-on-video texture that builds a layer of realism before becoming a vehicle to ramp up the horror elements to the max. Paired with smart camera angles and an innate sense of comfortability in crafting compelling images, Parsons shapes a visual language for the world of the Backrooms that feels both homey and horrifying in equal measure. Backrooms expertly expands on the conceptual groundwork of the YouTube series with smart visual composition, beautifully terrifying production design, a complex protagonist, and a return to Kane Parsons' roots of computer-generated sequences that pack a serious punch. The film also opens the doors to some compelling pathways to deepen the lore even more, if newcomers are willing to meet the film on its level, where it isn't going to spoon-feed anyone. Parsons' film is a harrowing trip to the dark heart of fractured memory, loneliness, and inner turmoil. It takes what's psychologically horrifying about the liminality of life and transmogrifies it into something truly terrifying. That's something the concept has always done well, and its future seems bright with Parsons at the helm of the nightmarish maze. Backrooms' IGN score? 8 out of 10. Thanks for listening to IGN. My name is Tony Jackson, and for the latest updates on the Backrooms, visit us at IGN.com.
Spoken Layer.